It is just so catchy.
It really is. I love hearing that. It just makes me happy. Almost as happy as seeing you two. How are you guys?
I am freaking fantastic.
I
Yeah.
don't think I can top that.
Good answer. It's good to see you.
Hey, it's good to
Thanks
see
so much
you.
for keeping the show rolling while I was away, completing our musical. It went really well. Fantastic. It was a lot of fun. Exactly what we needed.
So I saw a number of posts and photos from Spamalot, your production. How how many people were a part of that production? It looked like there were quite a few people involved in the thing.
So total numbers, we probably had about 60. So we had performers from the high school, from the middle school. We also had our technicians that were involved. A lot of kids backstage and on stage. We actually try to have our technicians be a part of in the show, so they're not always just behind the scenes, but they actually get to be in the scenes. And then, of course, front of house, ushers, tickets, box office, concessions. So, and then, of course, advertising and promotion.
Right on.
And you know what? That's a creative risk. How many people would have done that show? Bradley
It's a
Smith.
fun show. We wanted to do something silly. We wanted it to. We needed that laughter. We needed people to just come to the theater and have fun with us, to laugh with us, be silly with us, and I think we accomplished it. We really needed that this time, so it was good.
That's outstanding, man. I applaud you, applaud your kids. I think our viewers know this, but man, the work that you do with kids, not just in the theater space. I mean, obviously that's totally your wheelhouse. But I mean, since school started for you in August, I mean, you've been a tennis coach. You've been doing all of this stuff with the production. I mean, you're out and about speaking and inspiring kids. You're in the classroom in multiple different roles. You're just, buddy, you're on fire, and it's so great to see you, Frank. It's always great to see you. I got to see you last week. What's the world like in Jersey today, man?
64 degrees and sunny. And everything's opening up. We don't know how to handle it. I think that's the barrier right now, is that people don't know what to do when they see other people. Like, should we not? And then who the heck knows? We're following science out there, as always.
Yeah,
Good point.
right on, right on. Well, hey, I'll tell you what, guys.
We are following any science here in New Jersey,
No,
man.
nobody. Yeah, I know.
But I can tell you what, though, at the university class that I teach, I think the students are finally getting acclimated to being around other students. As a matter of fact, tomorrow we are going on a field trip. That's right.
Field trip.
Nice.
To the Absecon Lighthouse in Atlantic City, New Jersey. We are going there. We partnered with the AC Arts Foundation, and they just do some phenomenal things. It's another nonprofit that we collaborate with, and I had the students take a vote. Should we do it? Should we not? Yeah, we're there. 8:30 in the morning. So I hope to see you there. If not, you'll see pictures posted anyway.
I look forward to it.
Right on. Looking forward to it.
It's the tallest lighthouse that you can climb on the East Coast.
All right.
Cool. Yeah. I'm in, man. I'd love to be there tomorrow morning at 8:30. That's
Please.
I don't know if I can quite pull it off, but hey,
you know what? You guys have been talking about coming to visit me for how many years now?
Hey,
a lot. Many years.
6 something.
Yeah. Somewhere in there. Yeah. At least 75 episodes worth. I mean, I'm sure that. So here we are. Episode
We'll make it happen.
75.
We need to film one live from New Jersey
yeah.
together. That's what we need to do.
That would be outstanding.
It can happen.
That's right. Right on. We could do it down on the boardwalk or something, right?
That'd be great.
I have a couple extra longboards.
Yeah.
I'll carry one.
I just want to go hang in the Legacy Lounge. That's what I really want to do. So.
Yeah.
So, and you know what? Speaking of legacies, our guest tonight, I mean, man, when you think about educators and you think about people who have left a legacy in the lives they have touched, man, it does not get much better than this guy right here. I know you guys have known him for a long time as well. I think Frank, you've probably known him the longest. just a great friend, great educator, a Renaissance Hall of Famer. Let's get Steve Woolf in here, man. It's always great to have him in the house. Look at that.
Hey,
welcome, Steve. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah. Hey, I thought you were talking about someone else. I thought, oh man, I can't wait to hear about that guy.
I didn't even know he was with us. I thought we were just talking, having a conversation, and bam, he's here.
Yeah.
I knew he was our guest tonight, but
well, he's not quite the magician that you are, but he did a pretty good job right there.
Yeah. Hey, it's good to see you guys here from up here on the slope.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
back to where you used to live, Steve. Isn't there a lighthouse in the middle of Kansas?
There's all kinds of stupid things in Kansas that we play with and we call our own. The average bump in the hill we have out back here would be a tourist destination in Kansas. So yeah, we may have a lighthouse because there was an ocean there about 35 million years ago.
nice.
Always be prepared. You never know when it might come back, right?
Yeah. Hey, I see Park on my Park. Good to see your name come up, buddy. Got Chase. Nice.
Yeah. Always good to see these folks.
You know what?
Here in the house.
I have to tell you, Steve picked me up at the airport in Kansas City, and we're driving. Seriously, he drove 2 hours to pick me up and 2 hours back. And he points over to this rolling hill. And he says, "Do you see it?" And I said, "No, I'm sorry, I don't." He goes, "Buffalo, buffalo." I'm like, "Nah, still don't see it, buddy." Yeah, if you look real hard, you can see it. And yeah, I did. You can see a lot of things in Kansas. He showed me Leavenworth, where at the time Michael Vick was stationed or living.
Yeah, that was Leavenworth. Yeah. That was great. And you figure out this buffalo stuff. I figured it out. I got out back here. If you can find one of their, because they would burn buffalo dung, and basically that's grass that's been run through a buffalo. But you could find the real dry ones and put a clock kit in them and varnish it, and it's the best white elephant gift ever. So that's my job this weekend, is to make a couple of those.
You are very handy. And in all seriousness, this guy, every time, if I'm at a conference and this guy's at a conference and people come to me and say, "Who should I go see?" I'm like, "Nah, go see him."
Oh, really? Yeah. And tell him I'll wake you up when I'm done.
Oh, that's awesome stuff. Well, and so we can't let our adoring public, Chris Yoder stops by. He won't stop by when just the three of us are here, but boy, Wolf shows up and Yoder's all over it. So
it's good to see you. Yeah, great to see you.
You know what?
Right. Yeah.
Next, my wife is going to come in as a viewer.
There you go.
It'll be the third time in 75.
Your wife?
Chris,
right.
Chris, here's the story here, buddy. So Chris, we'll let Steve tell the story, but then we got to have you on the show just so you can play some music for us, because I don't know if you guys did this, but during the pandemic, on Friday nights, Chris was playing live from his basement and Michelle would stream it. And I think, Bradley, you guys did like game night and that kind of stuff during that. And,
yep. We would make dinner and listen to Chris play like every week. It was fantastic.
Great.
It was phenomenal. The guy's amazing.
So Chris, when you come out here for Wild Heart Teacher, we need you to step up, baby.
Absolutely.
Time.
So let's jump right into that, Steve. We know that during, right after we went to Wild Heart Teacher Retreat, we spoke about that several times here on our show. So we want to give you that platform right now. Tell us a little bit about not only what it is, but how it came about.
Right. And so Wild Heart Teacher is an opportunity to really create tribes, to be able to have retreats, to be able to have educators who've just been beat up, beat down. Even before the pandemic, it was rough. The pandemic took things to new levels, and it cost them something. So we wanted to be able to bring them in and just build people back up, have amazing food, great speakers, great opportunities to go do all kinds of Colorado cool stuff, and we got more cool stuff planned. And so they came in, and so in 3 days we just packed it in. People didn't sleep much and just had a blast. And so that's what we do, and we're going to keep doing that. It's going to be kind of the same pattern, but different every year. And so we're looking forward to year 2 starting to fill up. And so we'd love to have you guys come out and play. And I'll tell you, Bradley made this amazing video on our smallest conferences, our very first one. There's a lot of people. They came. I think it was the third conference maybe. There's a group of teachers from Illinois came in. They showed up because it was $50 and it was in Colorado. And because we only charge that, we have sponsors to be able to take care of. Otherwise, actually, Kelly and I poured all our money into it. Now we get sponsors, and so they came out and they said, my coworkers a little worried about us that we're coming out here to join a cult, and so we serve Kool-Aid, and we're good to go. And so it all started when we started the Wild program in Kansas, which is to get kids outdoors engaged in their environment. And the kids loved it. But what we really noticed is that the teachers and the educators that are involved that really loved it. They loved to get together. And so this has been a dream of mine for a long time. And to be able to pull that off and to be able to make really a living out of it now. We have corporate sponsorship to be, of a large corporation as 2,500 employees across the nation, and so they've agreed to do this. Kelly and I actually will run a monthly retreat for their educators, for their leaders in their corporation across the country. And so, see, Chase is carrying his heart. Good job, Chase. I just emptied my pocket, tried to pull it out now. I in my drawer the other day and just carrying it around. So that's great. So $50, you can't go wrong.
No, you cannot.
We know that teachers aren't getting rich, so we'd love to make it free, but we got to have them have a little skin in the game, or they just register and not show up.
Just the one dinner that we had there was worth the $50.
Oh, wasn't that fun?
It was incredible.
Yeah,
and everything else was just beyond my imagination of how, not just how amazing of a retreat it was. It was just the fact that I didn't realize how much I needed it. I know my wife, who's a third grade teacher, went with me. That was one of the constant themes that we talked about, was every single day we just kept saying, I didn't realize how much I needed this. And that connection with other teachers, how much I needed that as well.
Yeah, I think Farah said it best. She goes, "It's the conference I didn't know I needed."
Yeah. You mentioned Farah, and so Farah, of course, Farah Ortega Choate was at the session that I attended, that I fully attended, and we had an amazing group, and I know this is true each group you had, Steve, and I got the chance to come and speak to quite a few of them, but I think about just some of the unique connections that happened. There were a few of us that knew each other kind of coming in, but you build these relationships and you build this this connection that we all have our hearts, and I have mine in this box right here, but it's more than just that symbol. It's how we all really kind of connected from the heart
middle school
that week.
Teachers, or educators, faculty. And that's true. In fact, at that particular one, there were 6 different women there who had all lost children. Yeah. And they really bonded. They really needed that time together. And it was I don't believe in many accidents in life, and it was great that they all came together and kept spending time with one another. It's great.
It was extremely powerful. And, I was talking to Tom Cody earlier today. He was at that same retreat as well. And, we were just talking about how there were so many different pieces, like Bradley, you said, you didn't realize how much you needed it. I didn't realize, I'm not naive, but I felt, in so many ways going through everything we've been going through, that it was like I was alone in doing this. And so many other people were feeling the exact same things in their own way. And for us to be able to just open up and let go of that and bond and grow together. And I know my group is already talking about, hey, we're all going to come back at the same weekend. I probably ought to get registered. So I don't.
They probably ought to get registered. It's starting to fill up. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. I'm going
going back
on Facebook, our website, now that we have a website and our Facebook page and such, to be able to let people know and get signed up. We, would love to have people come back year after year, and we'd love to be able to expand it for educators. And we look at different times to do that. We pack 6 of them in. It's at a really nice camp that's about a half a mile from my home. We're working on buying that camp. If they'll sell it, we'll buy it, and we'll have everything there. And so it'll be 150 acres sitting right there on Mueller State Park, a half mile from my house. And so we'll have that to be able to do all kinds of retreats. And, I mentioned to Mike Woolf, I believe once, and some others that, Renaissance has been an impact on our lives. I mean, it has made my career. Jostens Renaissance has made my, look back, anything the great that has happened to me is because of that. And ideas that come to me come from as we build along those lines. And really what we're doing with Wild Heart Teacher is probably next step with Renaissance type things, and to really build that connection piece, even more so than our national conference. It's kind of hard to have intimacy with 1,200 people, and we have, and it can get a little, you can get some people lost. So we don't want that to happen either. But what we're doing there to rebuild educators is huge. And I love that we invest in students. Students are great to be able to have at these conferences. It's great, but they graduate and they move on. And you guys are here year after year after year after year, making a difference. And we got to keep building those people and keep firing them up, and keep, Frank, get them fired up. They can't. Frank can't light a fire if his is out. You can't fill a cup if it's empty. And so, that's really what Wild Heart Teacher is about. I would love to have Jostens more involved with it. And in fact, I would have just handed it to them if they wanted it. But it's starting to cruise on its own now.
And that's a great thing.
Absolutely.
I know I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. And I think it's obviously it's not just the reconnection. It's great seeing other people. I mean, when I found out that Chase was going to be at the same session that I was at, I was ecstatic. I'm like, this is a guy that I met years ago, just kind of on a fluke. I was walking down the hallway in Orlando, one of the resorts, and there's this crazy guy with a cape and a top hat out in the hallway. And I'm like, this is my kind of guy. Who is that? And honestly, we've been like best friends since. And it's been awesome having those connections that you meet with teachers, like-minded educators that are just willing to do whatever is necessary to help kids. It's just awesome.
And Chase caught his first fish.
Yeah.
He did. Yes. Hey, I see the Canada Flash is here.
Yeah. Yeah. If we could just, I think we can finally get her snuck into the United States now. So maybe Melissa can come down, and be a part of this too.
Meet us in New Jersey.
That's
right across. Yeah.
There you go. It's got to be a quick trip to Frank's place from where she is, I would think.
Yeah. And we need to get Lisa Tobin down here too. That'd be great.
Oh, absolutely. Well, Lisa and I talked earlier this week. She is 6 hours from my house, so we could probably meet in Kansas City and get on a plane together and head
Just
east.
Drive. It's a beautiful drive through Kansas.
No, I'm already past Kansas at this point. I'm far enough east, so I don't have to worry about going through Kansas, man. Yeah. But I could look for the lighthouse if I did drive across Kansas. I could look for that lighthouse.
There is a lighthouse actually out in Lyman, Colorado. I don't know why.
Because it's Lyman.
It's Lyman.
It's Lyman. Yeah. So
I think you mentioned it earlier. That's where the coast used to be, right?
Yeah, it is. It is. If you want to find mosasaur and all type ichthyosaur, all those things that are out there, that's where you find them in Kansas. That used to be ocean. It was oceanfront property here.
There you go.
And it will be again.
Yeah.
Someday soon. You never know.
Yeah. Yep.
So what else is big and burning on your plate right now, Steve? I know you mentioned Jocelyn's Renaissance, and of course,
Johnson's came to Colorado.
Yeah,
did a nice job of being involved there, and of course the different things happen around the country. And we appreciate all PC does, and we were talking the other day a little bit about, and I know Park was on earlier, some of the things that he's doing with there. And one of the things I don't think we have to really make sure we focus on the Renaissance. I've been involved with this since 91 or 2, I think. There's been some amazing people back then that sometimes we forget about those amazing people, and we can't. And they keep being amazing. Park keeps doing great things through World's Greatest Schools. We have other people that are out there that are engaged in different ways, and so we want to keep on keeping on with those folks. So let's make sure that we keep doing that and keep focusing on those people. It looked like some of us disappeared for a minute, but okay. But it's so make sure if you guys reach out to those people, even if they're retired, keep them involved. This has all been part of what they've done. This has been around for a long time.
Yeah,
Speaking of remembering great people,
I think you had a point there.
Jump in here, Frank, real quick. Today is an anniversary. Darren, do you know what 6 years ago was today?
6 years ago today. 6 years ago would be 2015, November of 2015. No, I don't know.
It was we began curbside coffee.
Oh, nice.
So this is opportunity that Darren and I we brought the band for the high school out to the front of the building as bus drivers and parents pulled up to the front of the school to drop kids off. We were bringing them cups of coffee, hot chocolate, whatever their hot drink of choice was for that morning. Just a way to say thank you for getting our kids to the building safely, and just thanks for being a part of our school. Even if it's in just a small way, it still matters. And it was just one of those kind of things we did on a whim, and it was a huge hit.
I'm glad you bring that one up, because that was one of my favorite events. And you're being very modest. It was Bradley's creation. I remember you coming to me and saying, "What do you think about this?" Like, dude, run with it. I think that's going to be so cool. But then when our band director, Brian Redmond, heard about it, he's like, "Hey, I'll get the jazz band out there." And I mean, it turned into this big party out front. And the funniest part of it was, this is Southwest Wyoming in November. It was snowing sideways, and the band played on, and we had a blast.
It was sinking.
Oh my gosh, it was crazy. And we blew up on Facebook from the bus drivers. It was the bus drivers putting all this, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe they did this, and they did this, and thank you so much." And of course, our kids were involved. It was our kids that were out there doing so much of that. So that was a great event. A lot of fun. I know a lot of people really enjoyed that one.
I just got back from Illinois a couple of weeks ago, and speaking to some folks there, they were doing similar crazy things. But one of my favorite was the no backpack day, where you can use anything but a backpack to be able to carry your books and stuff around. So it was a blast. But I was sharing with you guys earlier, and I may need some help on this out there, people, because Friday I speak to some educators in Oklahoma, but I'm also being simulcast in Turkey. And that's not the food. That's actually a different country. You can't even drive there from here. And so I'm really hoping not to create an international incident, and that my humor translates.
It won't.
No, it probably won't. That's outstanding. Yeah, you maybe if you got a really good run, like start in Kansas and like just put the hammer down and hit a ramp, somewhere in New Jersey, maybe you could drive to Turkey, but I don't know if you can quite make that jump.
Well, my wife's been to Turkey, and she's been all over the world. I've been to Tijuana,
Yeah,
That's
you
it.
lived in Kansas,
counts.
so there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is such. I love this question. Yeah,
Yes,
you
Bonnie,
just
it
have to
is.
just take this and run. From Bonnie here. Is that an honor? Thanksgiving.
Well played, Bonnie.
Bonnie, you're
Well played.
wonderful. You're so wonderful.
Bonnie is wonderful. Oh
She
my
really,
goodness.
really is. Yeah.
Yeah. Bonnie, we need to drag her hiney out here for Wild Heart Teacher. That'd be great.
Oh my goodness.
kidding.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Yeah, but only if Bonnie's got to speak. She's got to tell some stories because she's
Oh,
got
yeah.
some great stories.
Hey,
She really does.
guys, I just bought a 22-foot teepee, 30-foot poles, 22 feet. And to be able to sit around in the night and have a fire inside that thing and give some of you administrators a place to hide your whatever you were bringing. You shouldn't.
We'll say that was Jay Gross. That's who that was. It was 100% Jay.
Mission Conference from Texas found your bottles.
Yeah. Well, the Michigan guys, I'll blame it all on them. But, yeah. Or blame it on Willis. He was there too. We can say
That's right.
him. So yeah. So, oh man, Frank, every week the half hour is the fastest half hour of the week. But if we look at the clock, man, this has to be the fastest half hour we've had on this show. It is unbelievable how quick this has gone.
There's got to be a glitch in the system. It can't be a half hour already.
I know.
Hey, it's a half hour to us, but it seems like 2 hours for other people. So it's like
who've been watching.
Yeah.
Trying to keep up.
It's like I've been married 34 and a half years, but it really only seems like 34.
That's outstanding right there. Melissa does not want the conversation to end. I don't blame her. I really don't either. Anytime the four of us get together and gosh, I really, really hope that, this coming summer, whether it's Wild Heart or certainly Jocelyn's Renaissance. And yeah, we want Melissa to be part of that conversation too.
You bet. And Kip Schubert, if you ever get a chance to hook up with Kip, he's putting together some neat things and doing some amazing things in the classroom here. I'm real proud of him here at Woodland Park Middle School.
He was a great addition to your district, without question. Without question. So, all right, Bradley, shall we hit the final thoughts?
Let's do it.
All right. I'll let you drive on the final thoughts because I always end up either taking the first one or the last one.
Boom. I think we haven't heard enough from Frank tonight. I think we need to start it off with Frank.
There you go.
Thanks for putting me on the spot. But hey, as always, peace and love always win. And these guys, what you have to realize is that what Steve said earlier about those people that initiated this climate and culture thing back before I was in it. I was in it in 99. Steve was in it in 91. And he has taken it to new levels. He has thought outside of the box and thrown the box away. And that's what we need to keep doing. Bring the heretics, the outliers, and disruptors to the table. And that's what you've done. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you.
And I'll jump in here next. Really quick, just because Steve mentioned the video that we have of Wild Heart Teacher at the end of our episode today. We're actually going to let the live stream go a little bit longer, and we're going to play that video so you can see a little bit more about it. So stay tuned for that. And also stay tuned next week because I've got a little fun thing planned that we always have students get to do dress-up days, and sometimes teachers participate. But next Tuesday, we're doing our own dress-up day just for the teachers, kind of as a surprise for the students. So stay tuned to next week's episode, and we'll show you how that goes.
Hey, you're looking at a guy who really has a thought that's original. So we'll go over there. I love what you guys had to say and looking forward to videos. Looking forward to see you guys and love you all.
Man. Oh, and I get the anchor again. I'm going to run off of something that Steve said partly through the conversation about, how everything positive, everything good that has occurred, I can tie it back to Jocelyn's Renaissance every bit as much, just like what Steve had said. And I'm going to take it even just maybe one step a little bit further. When I think about that moment in my life when two roads diverged and I could stay on that path of negativity and that path of catching people doing things wrong, or I could, veer right and say, hey, let's start doing things a little bit differently. Let's be that person who looks for the good in situations and look for the challenge and embrace the challenge and really be the educator, the leader, and the human being that I was meant to be. It comes back to Jocelyn's Renaissance, and to have Frank and Steve both on the episode tonight, two of the guys that were the first guys that I heard talk about this and who hooked me and who grabbed my heart and never let go. I'm so grateful for you guys, and it's all about relationships. It's all about connections, and tonight is a perfect example of that. So, Steve, as always, brother, I love you with all my heart. Frank, Bradley, I love you guys with all my heart. It's a great episode tonight. And you know what? So many of these people over here listed in our chat, same way, man. I feel the same way about each of you guys too. Just nothing but love for all of our Renaissance family.
Absolutely.
Amen.
Steve, thanks so much for joining us. Love having you, man.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in to the Empower Half Hour. And stick around for just a few more minutes, and you get to check out a little bit more about
the video.
Wild Heart Teacher Retreat.
Have a real awesome week.
Wild Heart Teacher Retreat is an opportunity to be able to take these amazing educators that are doing such a phenomenal job throughout this whole pandemic and otherwise, and give them a new boost, a new energy to go forward, because they've been beat up. And so when we look at Wild Heart Teacher, we want to refurbish that heart, that they're ready to go and do something phenomenal. And so that's what we decided to do, and that's the retreat that we, in service, if you want to call it that we've prepared for people, and we're excited about it. So this year, and hopefully in years to come, we'll be having Wild Heart Teacher right here at John Wesley Ranch in Divide, Colorado. Actually about a half a mile from my house, and which is great because I have people there. Y'all invited afterwards, and love having it there. But the Methodist Church in Colorado Springs has done a wonderful job of working with us and being able to put us in a situation where we can be successful. And so the people who were here, I think they enjoyed the amenities and the opportunity to be right here on the west flank of Pikes Peak, and the most beautiful spot in the world, and spend time with other amazing educators. So one of the problems we have in education is we forget that our teachers need to recover, and so part of a lot of what we do is just the recovery process that we have. One of the recovery is occasionally you may see in this video a dog walk by. Well, that's Brady, and Brady is a professional therapy dog and a semi-pain in the hiney. But we're looking for those recovery opportunities, and so whether it's painting, and we had a wonderful painting opportunity. When the weather's decent, hiking the crags, fly fishing. Just sitting around reading a book, enjoying each other. But what I notice people really like to do is spend time with one another. And I heard more laughter during this time, and it's how we want it to be. That we can laugh, we can cry with one another, we build that tribe. And so this tribal building is really kind of one of the activities. We have great speakers that have come in. It was funny to me, I had one teacher said that they weren't going to get in-service credit because it was called a retreat. Well, the people we have come in and speak and work with our educators will be better than anybody else they'll be able to go to. I guarantee you, through hearing amazing people, interacting with one another, the different activities that they will leave rejuvenated and excited about going on. And I'm going to guess most of them will probably bring other people back in the years to come.
I should have been a cowboy. I should have learned to rope and ride. Wearing my six-shooter, riding my pony on a cattle drive. Stealing a young girl's heart, just like Gene and Roy, and singing those campfire songs. Oh, I should have been a cowboy.
Yeah, Wild Heart Teachers is just taking a bunch of educators that love to see, hear, and love kids and teach them how to do that for one another and lift each other up and move forward. You know, one of the neat things is we try to keep the price point at this. This year was $50. We're going to try to keep it in that range in the future. To be able to do that, we're going to have some sponsorship. Kelly and I have not been afraid to put our own money into this thing because we love these teachers. So if you know of anybody that wants to be a part of this, to be a sponsor for this, want a piece of this action, because they're going to make a difference that's going to last on long after they're gone, because they invest in the lives of a teacher who will change the life of a kid. So if you get an opportunity to come here, come early, stay late. You know, our house is available most of the time, and the camp has agreed to let people stay. It costs you a whopping $15 extra a night if you choose to stay earlier or late. And there's so many activities around here. We're really 35 minutes from Colorado Springs, Manitou Springs, Garden of the Gods. We're an hour and 10 minutes from the Royal Gorge. Where Cripple Creek is 15 miles up the road. Pikes Peak is in our backyard, literally. Right here. This camp is situated, weirdly, right in the middle of Mueller State Park. And so all of this is around you, and you have so much to do. And that's just an inkling. We had one of our wonderful teachers go in town to see the dinosaur museum. It's one of the top dinosaur museums in the nation. In fact, the lab that they work on there is the largest in North America. I'm working on fossils, dinosaur fossils. So Florissant National Monument's near here with all the amazing fossils that are there of plants and flora and fauna. And so there's more to do here that you can shake a stick at. So yeah, I used to come vacation here all the time, and I thought, hey, why not live where I vacation? So here we are.